Have you ever considered what truly happens when the veil of consciousness is drawn and you surrender to the seeming void of sleep? We call it rest, a cessation of being. But what if it is the opposite? What if sleep is not an end, but a beginning? A journey into a realm more real than the one we inhabit with our waking eyes. A hidden battlefield where the fate of your soul is contested each and every night. You believe you are alone, adrift in the chaotic sea of dreams, but you are mistaken. For in that sacred vulnerability, when your mortal defenses are down, an ancient and silent vigil begins. An army of light stands guard, waging a war you will never see, for a peace you feel only upon waking. This is not a tale of fantasy. It is a truth woven into the fabric of every sacred tradition, a secret whispered by mystics and saints across millennia. They knew that the night is not empty. It is teeming with forces, both benevolent and malevolent, that vie for influence over the human heart. And standing as the ultimate sentinels between your slumbering soul and the encroaching shadows are celestial beings of unimaginable power and devotion, the angels. Tonight, we journey beyond the shores of the known. We will pull back the curtain of night to witness the secret work they perform while you sleep, the battles they fight, the healing they administer, and the divine messages they carry from the heart of the Creator to the depths of your spirit. Prepare to discover that your sleep is not a passive slumber, but a sacred, guarded pilgrimage, and you have never, not for a single moment, been left alone. This is the untold story of what angels secretly do while you sleep. To understand the profound nature of this nightly vigil, we must first travel back to a time of sand, stars, and prophets, to a story of a man whose dreams were not mere phantoms of the mind, but direct conduits to the divine. In the ancient land of Canaan lived Jacob, a patriarch, wrestling not only with the turmoil of his family, but with the destiny of his lineage. Fleeing the wrath of his brother Esau, he found himself alone in a desolate place as the sun bled into the horizon. With nothing but a stone for a pillow, he laid his head down, a solitary figure under an immense, star-dusted canopy. He was vulnerable, a fugitive lost in the wilderness, yet it was in this state of utter helplessness that the heavens opened. As Jacob slept, he dreamed. But this was no ordinary dream. He saw a magnificent ladder, a luminous stairway set upon the earth, its top reaching into the very heart of the heavens. And upon this celestial bridge, he witnessed a breathtaking sight. Angels of God, beings of pure light and purpose, were ascending and descending. They were not static guardians, but active couriers, traversing the boundary between the terrestrial and the divine. They were carrying the prayers, the fears, and the hopes of the slumbering man up to the throne of God, and bringing down blessings, assurance, and divine decrees. At the top of the ladder stood the Lord, who spoke to Jacob, promising him land, descendants, and a blessing that would extend to all families of the earth. He concluded with a promise that echoes through eternity. Behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go. When Jacob awoke, the stone pillow felt like a sacred altar. He was trembling, not with fear, but with awe. Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it, he declared. This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. This sacred account, preserved in the book of Genesis, is not merely a historical narrative. It is a foundational revelation of the spiritual dynamics of sleep. Jacob's ladder is a universal symbol of the connection that is forged when our waking ego slumbers. The angels are the active agents of this connection. Their ceaseless movement reveals a fundamental truth. The spiritual world does not pause when we do. In fact, it becomes more intensely active around us. While our bodies are regenerating, our souls are being ministered to. This ministry is multifaceted, a silent symphony of divine intervention performed in the theater of the night. It is a work of protection, of healing, of guidance, and of spiritual warfare. The first and most crucial task of these celestial guardians is protection. The ancient sages and mystics understood that the soul, when untethered from the conscious mind during sleep, can become a target. The spiritual realm, much like the physical one, contains predators. In Islamic tradition, these are often referred to as the shayateen, mischievous or malevolent entities that seek to sow discord, fear, and doubt in the human heart. They whisper anxieties into the dreaming mind, crafting nightmares that leave a residue of terror upon waking, weakening one's faith and disturbing one's peace. The great 13th century scholar Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah wrote extensively on this, explaining that the soul is like a fortress. During the day, our consciousness, our prayers, our remembrance of God act as the guards at the gate. But at night, these guards can slumber, leaving the fortress vulnerable. This is where the angelic host descends. The Bible's Psalm 91 offers a powerful image of this divine protection. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day. This is not poetic hyperbole, it is a statement of spiritual reality. An unseen barrier of light is erected around the believer. These guardian angels, assigned to each soul, form a phalanx against the incursions of darkness. They are not passive observers, they are warriors. The clash between light and shadow is constant, a silent war fought on the astral plane for the tranquility of your spirit. Have you ever woken from a terrifying nightmare only to feel an inexplicable sense of peace wash over you, as if a calming hand had been placed upon your soul? Or have you found yourself on the precipice of a dark dream, only to be suddenly pulled away into a different, more peaceful scene? This is the subtle but powerful intervention of your angelic protectors, rebuking the forces that seek to torment you and steering your soul back toward the light. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught his followers specific supplications to recite before sleep, including verses from the Quran known to invoke this divine protection, effectively inviting these angelic guards to stand their post with greater strength. It is an acknowledgement that we are entering a spiritual territory that requires a celestial escort. Beyond protection from external forces, the angels engage in a profound work of internal healing. The waking world leaves scars upon the soul. The anxieties of the day, the grief of loss, the sting of betrayal, the weight of our own mistakes, all of these create spiritual wounds and energetic imbalances. Sleep is the workshop where the divine physicians begin their work. While the conscious mind is at rest, free from its cycles of worry and resistance, the soul is open and receptive. The angels, acting as conduits of divine grace, minister to these hidden wounds. They pour the light of divine mercy into the cracks of a broken heart. They untangle the knots of anxiety that have tightened around the spirit. They cleanse the residue of negative encounters and purify the emotional body. The Christian mystic Hildegard of Bingen, a 12th century abbess who experienced profound spiritual visions, described seeing the living light of God working through celestial beings to restore harmony in creation, including the inner world of the human soul. She understood that healing was not merely a physical process, but a spiritual one, orchestrated by divine agents. This is why you can go to bed with a heavy heart, burdened by the world, and wake up with a sense of lightness, a renewed perspective, and a strength you did not possess the night before. No external circumstance has changed, yet you have been internally transformed. This is the secret work of the angels. During your slumber, they have been tending to the garden of your soul, weeding out the thorns of despair and watering the seeds of hope, with heavenly light. They realign your spirit with its divine blueprint, reminding it of its inherent purity and strength, so that you may face a new day, not with the burdens of yesterday, but with the grace of a fresh start. Perhaps the most mysterious and profound role of angels during our sleep is that of divine messengers, carrying guidance from the celestial realm directly into the subconscious mind. The dreamscape becomes the sacred meeting ground, the canvas upon which God, through his angelic couriers, paints messages for the soul. Throughout the scriptures, dreams are a primary vehicle for divine revelation. It was in a dream that an angel warned Joseph to take Mary and the infant Jesus and flee to Egypt, saving them from the wrath of King Herod. It was in a dream that God revealed to the prophet Daniel the fate of future kingdoms. The Quran recounts the story of the prophet Ibrahim, who saw in a dream that he was to sacrifice his beloved son, a profound test of faith delivered through the medium of sleep. This channel of communication did not close with the age of prophets. It remains open for every soul that is receptive. The angels are the keepers of this channel. While we sleep, they can impress upon our minds solutions to problems we have been wrestling with, insights into our life's purpose, warnings about impending dangers, or comfort in times of sorrow. The Sufi mystic Rumi beautifully described the soul as a mirror. During the day, the dust of worldly concerns coats this mirror, obscuring its reflective quality. But in the stillness of sleep, the angels come to polish this mirror, allowing it to clearly reflect the light of divine wisdom. This is why inspiration often strikes in the quiet moments just before or after sleep. It is why you might wake up with the perfect answer to a complex question, an idea that feels less like a product of your own thought and more like a gift that has been placed in your mind. These are not random firings of synapses. They are angelic deposits of wisdom. They are answers to prayers you whispered before drifting off. The angels listen to the deepest questions of your heart, the ones you may not even dare to voice aloud. They carry these questions to the source of all knowledge and return with answers tailored specifically for your journey, delivered in the symbolic language of dreams. Learning to interpret this language, to pay attention to the recurring symbols and feelings in your dreams, is like learning to read the letters sent to you from the divine realm. It requires stillness, reflection, and a heart open to the possibility that you are being guided even when you are unaware. Your dreams are not just psychological noise. They are a sacred dialogue, and the angels are the divine translators. Finally, we must speak of the ultimate journey the soul can take during sleep, a journey beyond dreams and into the direct presence of the sacred. For the spiritually advanced, for the saints and mystics whose hearts are purified of worldly attachments, sleep can become a form of temporary ascension. Their souls, escorted by angels, are not merely guarded, they are invited into the celestial realms. In these sublime states, they can experience a taste of paradise, converse with the souls of other enlightened beings, and receive direct knowledge from the divine presence. This is what the Islamic tradition refers to as a true vision, ruya saliha, which the Prophet Muhammad described as being one of the parts of prophecy that remains after him. These are not dreams of symbols that need interpretation. They are experiences of reality on a higher plane of existence. The 12th century Andalusian mystic Ibn Arabi, known as the Great Sheikh, wrote of how the soul of the Gnostic, the one who truly knows God, travels in its sleep. He explained that such a soul, guided by angels, can traverse the spiritual cosmos and witness mysteries hidden from the waking eye. It is in these states that saints have been given knowledge of future events, profound insights into the nature of reality, and overwhelming experiences of divine love that fuel their earthly mission. This is the pinnacle of the angelic work during sleep, to facilitate a direct communion between the purified soul and its creator. It is a reminder that sleep, for those who prepare for it with a pure heart and sincere devotion, is not a descent into unconsciousness, but an ascent into a higher consciousness, a sacred pilgrimage from which the soul returns at dawn, radiant with the light of the heavens and infused with a peace that surpasses all understanding. Therefore, as you prepare to lay your head down tonight, do not see it as a simple act of biology. See it as a sacred ritual, an entrance into a hidden dimension of your existence. Your bedroom is not just a room, it is a sanctuary, a potential gate of heaven. As you close your eyes, know that you are not stepping into darkness, but into the watchful care of luminous beings. An angelic guard is taking its post, ready to defend your peace. Divine physicians are preparing to heal your hidden wounds. Celestial messengers are waiting to deliver wisdom to your receptive soul. You are entering the secret cathedral of the night, where the most profound work on your spirit is done. Entrust yourself to their care. Speak a prayer of gratitude for these unseen guardians, for the silent war they wage and the gentle peace they bring. Know that you are deeply, profoundly, and eternally looked after. Your slumber is sacred, your soul is cherished, and your rest is watched over by the loving eyes of heaven. You are never, ever alone.